Alright, so I have the article, Technique or Testosterone, an empirical report on changes in the longevity of boy singers by Martin Ashley. Got a girl last name. It's funny, he's talking about boys. Anyway, so the article is basically on boy choirs and voice change and some of the issues therein. He states out early on there's no great consensus on when voice change occurs and what you should do with boys in choir. He talks a lot about the disparity between the United Kingdom and the United States. He basically establishes 14 as kind of like a baseline for voice change. He notes though that pre-war boy sopranos sang well into their late teens, and so he's trying to figure out why boy sopranos now can't. They hit 13 and then they quit choir. So there's these two tones that he talks about: continental, which is basically like shouting in your chest voice, and then the English tone, which is smoother and more flute-like, and it uses like a pure head voice as opposed to the chest voice. A lot of people have said that it's like, oh, well, boys are going into puberty earlier, so that's a problem, and that's why they can't sing high longer. But he did some research that pretty much proved that 50% of boys go into puberty between 13 and 14. So that's on average the way it's been for a long time. What he did point out, though, is that boys without a social environment and knowledge of classical literature aim to speak in the lowest voice possible as soon as they can, for a risk of being like, oh, ha, you sound like a girl. They could, even if they're in a choir and they know about both, they don't want to risk peer ridicule. So that's actually the main reason that there's not a lot of longevity. Plus, the technique that we currently teach boy sopranos to sing in, by and large, makes it, as soon as they hit puberty, they're no longer able to do that. So, to sum it all up, both technique and testosterone do play an issue. Well, it's kind of a both. The current technique mixed with testosterone limits the ability of boy sopranos. And there was a bunch of bad science done, and Martin Ashley said, I'm going to fix this. And he discovered what everyone already knew. Or what, if anyone had opened their eyes, they would have known. Everything's been the same. So the overarching then is that boys will randomly choose whichever voice they feel most comfortable using at that time. So if you're going to have a boys choir, like a elementary or middle school, you should do your best to create a safe environment for all participants so that they feel okay singing in their natural and most comfortable singing voice.